Okay.
We're going to call the meeting to order at 6:30.
Wait. Okay, now,
3 times the charm. We're going to call the meeting to order at 6:30 still. Want to welcome everybody to the Clark County Board of Education special meeting. It's an organizational meeting, January 7th, starting again promptly at 6:30. This meeting is a little different in that I start the meeting as the superintendent because it's a brand new year. So I want to kind of explain processes as we'll work our way through the agenda. I will not be speaking a ton as we will get to the agenda item where the board will elect a board chair. Till that time, I want to welcome everybody again. We're going to rise for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next we are going to have, to make things official, we have several board members that need to be sworn in tonight. So we will start with, if I could ask Judge Yates to come up. He's going to be swearing in Ms. Paula Thomas.
You want us to face the audience or doesn't matter?
Oh, as long as,
face the audience, it's fine.
absolutely. We got plenty of people that came to see this. We got to give them good pictures.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
I'm going to read all of it. And if you just say you can acknowledge at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of member of the Clark County Board of Education according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, or aided or assisted any person thus offended. So help me God. You did.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. They get recorded,
So we don't have to say it, you just have to say it?
I'm not sure if that's the way you all want to do it.
Yeah.
Or the law doesn't say. You're the lawyer,
Yeah.
you're good with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you all, Mr. Kaiser, you want to go individually?
So I need this.
Actually, if we do it that way, you can just,
But you got to make sure to face the crowd. You got people too, all right?
raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as you continue to be a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of member of Clark County Board of Education according to the law, and do solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, you being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with a deadly weapon within this state nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted in second carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help you God.
Oh, you get the pictures now.
You shake his hand. Now look at me. Perfect, thank you. All right, so, rolling. raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as you continue to be a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of member of Clark County Board of Education according to the law? And do you further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted persons thus offending, so help you God? I do. All right.
Oh, get pictures.
No, I don't care.
Individually.
All right, your turn.
Thank you.
And then I'll have you sign. You want to sign. This is a separate one for the board, and I can notarize it. It's just a big note.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to move on to the review of the agenda. First item is adoption of the agenda. Any discussion? If not, I'll accept a motion and then a second.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Ms. Ashley Ritchie Rowland,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Dorsey. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Public comments. Chief, we have any public comments? Mr. Dixon, floor is yours.
Just wanted to pre-comment on the consent agenda. The bowling team will be going on a trip again, as you all made possible last year. We appreciate that. Last year we went to Tennessee. Kids loved it. We did visit all kinds of historical sites, and the girls really loved one house we went to, and it was just fabulous, the history of it. Also report to you about the cross-country trip that you approved. Back in August, the cross-country team went to Tennessee as well. They competed. We spent 5.5 hours competing and 6.5 hours at educational pursuits. We went to, we went to 2 colleges and talked to coaches and toured the college. We went to multiple historic sites. We went to a cemetery, and they had a preservation project, which a lot of the kids want to bring back to the Winchester Cemetery to preserve the tombstones. And we thank you for allowing that. On the consent agenda, we have a trip, and this time we're going north. We're going to Ohio. Every time I go on a trip, I try to find something educational. And President Carter, he's in the news. We took the kids, about 5 or 6 years ago to the Carter Center in Georgia and toured that. If this trip is approved, we're going to take the kids to President Taft's home in Cincinnati and tour that. I don't know that I can get 6 hours of history and everything in a 2-day trip. That's typically a 3-day trip we like to take cross country. But that's some of the things that we propose to do. I would ask though, because inclement weather is coming in and there's a decent chance that it might be canceled and rescheduled, that any approval, if you deem to approve this trip, be for this date and any rescheduled date that they have on it, because I'm watching the news reports and weather, and it's looking kind of bleak as for this weekend, but 2 weeks from now, it might be a whole different picture. So anyway, on behalf of the kids that go on these trips, thank you for allowing us to do it. It means a lot to them. A lot of these kids haven't been out of state. It amazes me. They don't go to history museums and do these these activities. And every time they come back enlightened, and one little girl, she went, and she was really just turned on by history, and said, she was the one that wanted to bring this project back to Winchester Cemetery, where they painstakingly restore some of the tombstones. So you are making an impact when you let us go on these trips. It's all not just fun and games and partying and all that. We make sure that that old saying, idle hands, the devil's workshop, we don't have no idle hands. We keep them busy. They're either competing or they're learning or sleeping. But anyway, that's my little spiel, and my thank you to you all for continuing to let the kids leave the county and leave the state to experience things. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the next agenda item under internal board business, selection of the board chairperson for year 2025. Consider approval of the chairperson. So I'll open it up for discussion and accept any nominations or, again, just general discussion.
I make a motion for Ashley Rowland to be considered the board chairperson for the year 2025.
Got a motion on the floor by Ms. Dora Hall. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have any other further discussion before we put it up for a vote? If not, I've got a motion and a second. All in favor of Ashley Rowland as the 2025 board chair, signify with raising your hand and saying aye.
Aye.
3, 4, 5. That's 5-0. My great pleasure to hand the rest of the meeting over to the board chair for 2025, Ms. Ritchie. You can take it from here.
Oh, you almost got it.
I went both ways.
So close. Selection of board vice chair for 2025. We will open that up for nominations at this time.
I would nominate Ms. Dora Hall as the vice chair. If no one else has any.
I say it.
Dora Hall nominated by Mr. Dorsey. Second by Mr. Kaiser. Any other nominations? If not, take the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You don't have to. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Appointment of the board secretary. Consider approval of Dustin Howard as the board secretary.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Kaiser,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Dorsey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Consider approval of Alicia Ellis as the treasurer of the Clark County Public Schools and board treasurer.
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Hall,
I'll say.
second by Mr. Kaiser. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Approved monthly meeting dates, times, and locations. Anybody have anything they want to?
I like Tuesdays. I'm just wondering if we were to move it to 6 o'clock, is that a possibility? Or would that be a hardship on anyone?
It's fine with me.
I'm good with it. I work all the time. I'm good.
Let's go straight.
What about you, Ms. Rowland? Is that, I don't know, I mean,
Should be fine with me. Just getting used to it.
yeah, we'll have to remind each other.
Which one do they usually?
So I've kind of built my whole work week
Yeah,
around
right, it's
Tuesdays.
set.
Just
Let's
so you
see,
guys-
for Tuesday.
Right. No,
So-
I mean, usually Ben's the last one to be able to get into town, so
Well,
you can get in it.
Yeah, I should be fine, as long as it's said.
Which,
Sure.
do you need it to be? The fourth week works better, that I have meetings the third Tuesdays.
That's what I was gonna say, if we're gonna stick with the 4th week, then we'll really just have to look at like November and December.
Christmas falls.
Is the 4th week?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday next year.
We did them, what, the Tuesday, the second Tuesday? Or was it the third?
Of Jan,
It was the
I've got
second
some
one.
tentative dates in case you guys wanted to keep the fourth Tuesday. I can find those that had adjusted for those other months.
That's, if we move to 6 o'clock, is that gonna mess with any, like, the school, like the band thing and all that?
Not necessarily. I think we'll just have to do a good job on our end, just making sure that as many things that can be clear as possible are possible. But as far as moving from 6 to 6:30,
You don't
that,
think that'll, well, I know, like, open houses and stuff like that all kind of ran into each other and,
we've got them, I think we've worked pretty well with the principals to make sure we've already got some open houses for the spring already scheduled.
Okay.
And we're making sure they're not on those. Again, we couldn't exactly because
Yeah.
we've not had this meeting yet, but if we need to make some adjustments, my point is we can do it
right.
on their end because we're that far out from that, so.
The only one I think is the July 21st, and I just sent it to you.
We'll see the attachment.
One week are we on vacation, September?
It's on the end of the 20, I think it's the 21st. Is that what you're talking about, SBA?
Oh, no, I was asking her a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologize.
Vacation.
Should just be in the
Yeah, if you don't mind.
So we need to move December and November. So it's-
That's what I'm thinking, because they fall like the day before.
Yeah, Ms. Bell's gonna print off something we kind of worked up based on your all's input just now.
Okay.
With it modified for a couple of things, and I'll let you guys look at the dates, just make sure they work for you. But in June, we would like to move away from the 4th Tuesday because we're trying to give a 2-week period where this office could kind of shut down.
Shut down.
We've got a lot of directors that don't get vacation time,
Yeah.
or they're having to come back for a board meeting, so if we could allocate that. And then in July, we have our state administrators conference, so we would like to move it just one day, have it on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, and then move up November and December. But I've got the exact dates for you guys to review to make sure that they work. And then we can always make adjustments. Again, it's your all's approving. I just want to do some of the legwork for you.
Do we need to have the meetings at some other places, like, for like, big night for awards or anything like that?
So if we could have the April meeting at GRC, typically we've done that in the past so that we can invite all of the clubs and state winners and hopefully the bowling team, all of our industry certs, our nursing students. We celebrate those students on that night and we like celebrating things around here, so we'll take the gigantic auditorium, so that's one, absolutely. And that way, if we already posted as being at GRC, then it would be a special meeting, and if we had something on the agenda at that point, it wouldn't necessarily tie your hands, you could actually add things since it would be a regular meeting, since it's posted at that location. It becomes a special meeting if we change locations.
But if we post it now,
That's
It's
my
not
understanding,
Yeah, because it's scheduled as a regular meeting to take place there.
correct?
July, like a day,
Huh?
like Monday. Well, maybe a week before.
Yeah, the July one will be on the 22nd.
It'll be on, instead of the 29th. Is that what you're saying?
The fourth Tuesday's the 23rd, so we would just move it to the 22nd. The KASA conference, we have a.
In
we have
July?
a- In July.
22nd, Tuesday.
Yeah, the 22nd is Tuesday.
Oh. Well, that would help if I was on the right July. So it'll be the 21st, correct?
Okay.
She's about to pass us out a piece of paper.
There you go, you can pass that around.
No, it was enough for you to.
Oh, pass one back this way, you ready? All right, start back
No.
here.
Pass one
Pass
back
one
over
back.
here. Thank you, please. Thank you, thank you.
And we need one for a missing foot.
So what we would change on here is just we would start at 6 versus 6:30. So we would change that. So the dates would be January 28th, February 25th, March 25th, April 22nd, May 27th. May 29th will be the budget meeting, tentative budget meeting. That's on there, you can see. 6/10, and that's to arrange for us to have those couple weeks at the end of June. 7/21, you can see we're moving it by one day just because of KASA. And then you've got, we could also move that one to 7/29 if you wanted to, so I left both those dates on there. Really, it's up to you guys whether you wanted to keep it on a Tuesday. And then 8/26, 9/23, 10/28, 11/18, and 12/6. Like I said, on the far right, you've got kind of the reason why we adjusted a little bit.
I am already committed on the November and December, that second Tuesday, but those months are usually kind of light, so and it could be that I could be here instead of there. It just depends on what's going on.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with that, or if you want to change it, that's fine.
I know we're not setting graduation date or anything, but can we talk a little bit about where the last day of school is scheduled for this year
Sure.
to go along with this?
Sure, so the last day, currently, and again, we've
We're not
clearly-
setting the date.
Clearly been out for the past couple of days. The Board of Education has the leeway because of number of hours and number of days. We actually go longer than what we're required. So if it's the board will eventually, maybe even as early as next month, you have the option to forgive those couple of days. So my answer depends on that. If you were to do that, then the last day of school would be May the 22nd, which is a Thursday for students.
Oh, it's the week before.
Correct.
Okay.
Graduation tentatively would be the 23rd. That would be a staff day, but no students would be there. And again, that's assuming we don't have any more snow days. NTI days will not modify that, so if we use NTI days, those non-traditional, they're still instructional days. That's the I part. When we, and again, I'm under the direction of the board, so whenever you want me to bring back a calendar, if that's something you'd like to consider. If not, if we tack those 2 days on, The last day for students would be Monday the 26th. Nope, that's not right, because that's Memorial Day would be the 27th, so you get it,
So Memorial Day is the 26th?
the 26th, you get into
Okay.
after Memorial Day, the last day. My experience, that might not be what you guys want to do. In fact, my recommendation would be not to do that.
I know most of the calendar committee was pushing to try to be done before that.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was later, so that's why I'm asking.
Nope,
It's all personal reasons.
gotcha.
How much extra time do we add? You said we go longer than we're supposed to now.
So we only are required to go 170 days, and a certain number of minutes, we actually go 172 days. So we have 2 days that are essentially banked. If, just for conversation, if we were to take another traditional snow day, the board could make the student day be on that Friday, and we still could keep graduation that night. We're a little bit in the weeds right now, but that's kind of where we sit. I think it's pertinent information, because the public's probably wondering anyway.
I don't see any.
But I can't predict the weather, let me also say that. We can make plans when it gets here, but what Mother Nature does is, you know.
You said you had a problem with the 18th and 16th?
Yes, but again, that comes up sometimes in December, and usually I can kind of pick which board has the most pressing needs. But if you all want to change it, that would be great too.
Completely up to you guys.
The other question I'm gonna throw out is if we have our regular meeting May 27th, we have our tentative budget meeting on the 29th, and then we come back on the June the 10th, what are we possibly gonna talk about? That's like really close together, so that's why, should we think about maybe making the July one earlier? I don't know, maybe not, that doesn't make sense. I understand your, and I think it's a great
Yeah,
idea.
no, and again, if we need, like I said, I'll be here.
Yeah,
And maybe
So-
we can keep
The
things.
time is, you're wanting the office shut down the last 2 weeks?
I think that's what we talked about, or the last week and the first week of July, we were kind of going back and forth. I wanted to get through this meeting before, Ms. Smith.
The 17th, be a little bit closer, of having the date on.
That could be an option also.
I'm committed on the 17th.
Yeah, it puts her in the same spot, yes.
We just, yeah.
The- this one.
But we could put it on the 16th. I mean, again, now we're starting to switch days on then, but
I mean, like I said,
as long as he knows, as long as you know,
yeah.
okay.
What do you think? Do you think?
I think it's gonna get real confusing for everybody. When we start going to Mondays, and I think if you're gonna do that, just switch them to Mondays.
I'm committed every Monday through.
Hey, if we need to keep it on the 24th to keep it consistent, like I said, I'll be here.
No, I mean, I want
I just think that want to make sure that us coming together just a few weeks after we have our budget
Oh,
meeting isn't worth it,
Sure.
is really what I'm at. And there could be things, things usually do pop up.
is it usually June's a light meeting anyway, isn't it?
Typically, because we're not fully closed down the fiscal year, most of that stuff takes to the July meeting. So
maybe
we're
not
still
meeting.
working on things.
Policy updates.
Policy updates, we usually get from KSBA in time. If they don't do anything crazy in the legislature.
We looking at July or June right now?
June.
I think you'll have plenty to talk about. Talk about the end of the school year, how the school year went, any problems. I mean, I think you have plenty to talk about. Myself.
As long as the July dates work better for you, that works.
No, I'm good. I'm good on every day. I'm kind of like being, as long as I know up front, I can set that time. I can adjust my schedule. The only
Yeah, I think
thing,
if we're doing, I'm sorry, Carl.
no, go ahead.
If we're just doing the policy updates and all that on the 10th, you're gonna have them anyway, so I think you can
Yeah.
leave the 10th and
The
get all that.
only thing sometimes we'll have ready by then are student handbooks, but sometimes we push them to July too.
Yeah.
Depending on what we're doing, but there's not
Yeah, because usually by June.
Old farmers say
everything's-
hay's in the barn at that point, we're just
Yeah.
kind of recapping.
I'm
So we
just-
would meet the 10th and then that would be
Yeah.
it for June. I think that's-
Yeah.
Yeah, so it don't have to be a packed type agenda, I mean, it's fine,
And then what date did we talk about July?
a bunch.
I just put the 21st or the 29th as options, but the
And
only.
that keeps it on the Tuesdays, right? No,
The 29th does, yes.
the 29th does.
Yep, and that month, the only reason
There's
that,
5 Tuesdays.
that one has 5, so that's perfectly fine.
Is what-
Are we all right to wait that long, from the 10th till the 29th, you think?
That will give you a packed agenda.
It'll be heavier.
Because then you're getting ready, then you've got the opposite problem, you're getting ready to go back in,
Ready to go back to school?
and he's gotta put everything on there he needs. But we could always call a special between there
We could,
and split it, if it starts getting too heavy.
Too heavy. Yeah,
yeah, or we could,
I think I'd rather keep it on the Tuesday
Tuesday.
myself. I think it gets
Keeps
a
consistent.
pattern going for
Yeah.
people to make plans to come. I
So
think
we're
the
gonna go the
29th.
29th, right?
You all right
But
with
the,
that?
oh, yeah, I'm going. And you're okay?
Yeah, that works.
But we'll all be at 6 instead of 6:30, right?
All these will be at 6, yeah.
and we'll make changes on that, yes, ma'am.
Is that good for you, Ms. McCoy? if we
Yeah,
do the 6 o'clock?
July is. the
No, I
only-
mean, all
No,
through the
all
year, the
the-
6 p.m.?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Now we just need to decide if, what we're gonna do in
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Can November and December, can we go a week earlier?
We can do,
that work?
November puts you on Veterans Day. You go a week earlier, I think,
Well, these dates, because
right?
the dates
If we-
that they misspelled, Mr. Howard have listed are the earlier ones, so.
The 18th, but Ms. McCoy can't be here then,
Oh.
or the 16th of December, she can't be.
Oh,
She
okay.
doesn't know if she can be here.
The other board I represent, they do their meetings the third Tuesday. And so they've already set their schedule, but sometimes that's happened before with the holidays and I'll come here if your all's agenda looks heavier there, but there's just a chance I will not be here if they've got something pressing going on.
We could back it up to the 11th, and then,
Of course, that's Veterans Day, would that?
oh, that's what she
matter?
said, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Tuesday before that's election day.
Can we just have it on the 10th, on a Monday that day, that month?
I would just leave it on the 18th and then move the December one, and then if Becky can switch one, she could switch that one around, and then,
Yeah.
Then December,
because the December one, we should be able to move to we can move it to the night if that gives your staff time for everything.
yeah, those will be light, I mean, usually December's
Yeah.
really light.
yeah.
To give Becky,
I'm
that
fine
would
with
give
it.
her leeway, and then on the.
That
yeah.
way, she would just have the chance of not making one meeting
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than two. So, December 9th, everybody good with that?
Clear as mud, all right.
Yeah.
So they're all still on Tuesday, right? Do we move any to Monday?
Correct, nope.
Okay.
So the 22nd meeting of April, is that the meeting you was talking about for,
That'll be, yeah, so the location there will be GRC. And the-
We're gonna do the 29th of July, is that right?
Yes.
yes. Well, not officially till you vote, but I think that's what we're working towards. So yes, the April 22nd will be at GRC, all of the meetings, regular meetings will be at central office.
sound good to me?
We'll attempt to.
Is everybody all
See
right?
who's gonna attempt the motion on this one.
I'll make a motion, everything we talked about.
I'll second.
All right.
Do we need to spell it out?
Does it say adopt the schedule as
The only thing that changes
discussed?
is-
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt the schedule as discussed.
And
I
I'll
like your
second.
first one better. Motion by Mr. Kaiser, second by Ms. Thomas. I had to find that on here, okay. All those in, what'd you say? Did you say something?
No, you're fine.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Just want to make sure that we have the dates.
Okay. Number 6, board focus, board operating protocol, board powers and duties, best practices for board members, receipt and verification of Kentucky open meetings and open record law documents. I'm assuming,
So all those have been uploaded into e-meetings. We're just making sure that you review just general operating protocols, understand do's and don'ts of open meetings records and Open Meetings Act. There's a couple spots you guys will have to sign off once you make yourself clear on that.
Do we sign off on here?
No, I think we printed those off
Oh, okay.
for you to sign off on.
Thought we were getting real fancy.
Not quite, yeah.
okay, so you don't need a motion or anything there, so you have them with you?
We have them with
Okay.
you, so we'll disperse those and make sure you guys read over. We'll have to have those back. Just by law, we have to make sure you guys are updated and trained on those. So
Yeah.
we've made those available.
Okay. Item number 7, consider approval of school board committee assignments.
So I went ahead and took the liberty of providing what committees that I could think of that we had. Some of them already have some acting board members. I don't know if you guys, I'll let you guys tackle that. If you guys like the committees you're on and open up the other ones, or we've got, just for the public, we've got safety / MTSS, the Bullying Task Force, the local planning committee, the school calendar committee, the Governor's Scholar Program. There has to be a board member that reviews those applications. The Partners in Education or PI Board, and the Equity Coalition are the standing ones that we have at this point. And then as things come up, if you guys have ad hoc committees or that you guys create or want to be a part of, then at that point, we would make those discussions. These are the ones we kind of have standing at this point.
These all have people on them right now, no?
The Governor's Scholar Program does not.
What about the Equity
The
Coalition?
Equity Coalition, I don't think so. Partner in Ed, I think, is Ms. Hall.
I'm on LPC.
We did have actually 2 members on the Bullying Task Force. We only have 1 currently, so that would be an extra spot.
Did you say the bowling task?
Bullying.
But it's got safety in there also.
It's got a safety committee with Mr. Snell that we're going to kind of combine.
So who's on that? You?
Me,
That's
Oh,
all.
me and Miss Simkin.
I'm on the calendar.
Is
okay.
safety something you're
Yes.
interested in?
Yeah.
So,
But if you want to do,
I mean, I'm okay if Carl, Mr. Kaiser wants to go in to do that.
Yeah.
It's your all's assignment.
I will too. Whichever, it does not matter.
I feel like the bullying task force, they are they're doing such a good job. I can always just pop in. I don't necessarily, but I think Mr. Kaiser and his knowledge of safety is a really good thing for him to do. So,
do you want that one, Carl?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Carl's taking safety.
and I have done the Governor Scholar reviews for the past 2 years, and it is a lot of work. You have to read through it. You have a rubric. You have to grade them. They are absolutely fascinating, and you really, my heart was glowing how awesome our students in high school are. So, but the rubric, it spells it out what you have to do. But it takes a minute because there was about 25 applicants to do that.
So the timeline on that is not going to be soon, so if you're worried about taking that on immediately, we actually just finished up that process right before the break. So that committee will be meeting more so in the fall as they work towards that, so.
Am I talking about the wrong thing then? I don't think that we've done them yet.
But Ms. Simpkins said on that one.
Yeah, Jennifer did.
Oh, Jennifer did it? Oh, awesome, awesome. I would like to be on the Equity Committee, Equity Coalition Committee, if no one else wants that. That is like my life, like right there. I love Mrs. Carter, what they do. They do awesome work, so.
You see anything, Paul, that jumps out at you?
I was thinking about Partners in Education, but is that,
No, I don't think they had anybody there. did they?
I have been on that
Oh.
for, I mean, I'm an active volunteer. I would have to talk to Mr. Yates and see what he thinks, but I mean, I've been pretty active in that. They meet every 2 months. They meet on Mondays at lunchtime, so,
Right now, I mean, we're more just kind of filling the ones that don't have anybody at all on right now.
Yeah, and what was that left? The governor's scholar is on one, or did you say you were doing that with Tumason?
oh, no, I don't have to do that.
Simpkins was on that.
I was just saying how awesome, it's just a wonderful experience to see what our
I
young
looked at
people are
those, let's
doing.
see.
Yeah, very good. Got the safety, the local planning committee, which I think
Yeah, I'm
Ashley's
on
on
that.
that.
We
School
don't have a
calendar
school
committee.
calendar.
That's,
Being.
Then.
It's doing- okay.
Governor's Scholar Program,
Yeah.
Partners in Education, and, well, that's it. I don't have to be on the committee right now. We can make one later, so. I'm good.
So do you care
It's all
to do
the-
Governor Scholar?
I don't want to do Governor's Scholars, no.
Huh?
I don't want to do that, no.
You don't want to do that one?
Governor's scholar.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
So what's involved in governor's scholar again?
you have a rubric and you get a packet, it's anonymous, you don't know who the youth is that has applied to it, and they have to write an essay, they have an application, and they talk about why they want to go to the Governor's Scholar Program, and you basically grade their packet.
Okay.
And the rubric, it gives you like 0 to 5, and you just write that out, and then at the end you,
Who else is on the committee? Like-
well, Ms. Fitton is in charge of it.
Okay.
Am I explaining that correctly?
There are 4 to 5 people that grade all of the student packets that are turned in, and then all those scores are combined. But you don't know the students that you're scoring, so it is
Yeah.
all anonymous. But you have a rubric that you use to grade their papers.
And it's for high school, let me kind of get some clarity, it's for high school juniors
Okay.
that are applying to go over the summer to get admitted to the Governor's Scholar Program, which is 6 weeks at one of 3 campuses across the state of Kentucky. Usually it's at Center or Moorhead or Western, I think were the 3 locations this last year. And Clark County gets up to 13 spots, but a lot of times we'll have 25, 30,
So you
35
gotta
kids
grade.
apply. So
I don't
we
care to
kinda
do that
cut
also.
it down. So that's what, but again, that process won't start until
Till-
we get into
like-
next year's junior
yeah.
class. Yep.
I don't care to serve on that committee.
I can't remember how many I'm on. If I'm not on a
Yeah.
bunch, Carl, you need me to switch with you, just let me know.
Okay.
I just can't remember how many I already have right now.
Yeah, now the bully task force is something you might, I mean, it says Mr. Kaiser would be doing the safety piece, the bully task force.
Could 2 people serve on
Yeah,
the same one?
I would think
It might
so.
be,
Yeah, no, I don't mind to serve on that one. I just did not want to get into reading a bunch of papers.
yeah.
Yeah, the
No,
bully
you're
task
fine.
force is it's good. They
I think
have,
I've done that forever.
it's a good one to be on, just so you learn so much and see what the staff come up with. They've got it under control, so they're doing a good job. So.
That was
Yes,
okay?
I'll be good.
Okay. And then we can also include you in the safety one too, just as long as we don't have to.
So are you coming off
We'll do
safety?
some like walkthroughs of the building. It's kind of like we've done some of the tours and looking at what we need to tighten up, what we need to, just kind of planning for that.
Okay.
Dora's coming off safety. Paul's
Okay.
going on safety.
Got it, Jay?
Does that cover all of those committees now?
Should, yeah, because
Yeah.
you all are gonna be safety, I'm LPC, Ben's school calendar, you're doing Governor Scholar, she's high, and that's all, yeah, that's you.
Equality, yeah. Equity Coalition.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know, that's not spelled right.
It's
No, it's
equality.
It's equity.
Yeah, I thought it was
Coalition.
equity coalition, yeah.
Okay.
And that's a really cool word, I don't, yeah.
All right, and then
Is it Miss Carter? Is it that
Yes.
group that you're talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
Okay, so yes, everything is filled on this group. Now another group may come in and we have more,
It's on the Google Drive. They'll just talk about
but this is this section of it. There's all kinds of them, but I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of them all right now. Mainly, we need to know what Mr. Bennett and Miss Simpkins were on.
But we've got everything covered at this point.
Okay.
We've got the ones on there, so
So
we've
that's-
got, yeah, Miss Hall is on the Equity PI committees. Mr. Kaiser, Miss Thomas are on the Safety MTSS Task Force. Miss Ritchie's on the LPC. Mr. Dorsey's on the school calendar. Mr. Kaiser's on the GSP. So that gets them all covered.
That's all the committees? That don't seem like all of them. I think there's a whole bunch of them.
If we find them, then we'll bring them back to you and
Yep,
we
sounds
can
good
draw
to me.
straws on who joined them, so.
Yeah,
Oh, we're good.
sounds good.
That's the only ones we've got actively meeting currently.
Okay.
So do we need to,
You don't need a motion on that. It was,
Okay.
because you just need to fill them. Right, Becky?
Yeah, I think it's voluntary.
Yeah, the way it was worded it. All right. Consider approval for CCPS Board of Education and Superintendent to attend the KSBA Annual Conference in Louisville on February 21st through the 23rd.
This is the big KSBA, the Kentucky School Board Association Conference, and this is where we get our mandatory education. And the annual conference is, can almost get probably the majority of our hours in, so, it's good to go and, what's that word I'm looking, not mingle, what's the,
yeah, you're good.
to talk with other
Other
school board
schools.
members and get to know things.
And this one is state, this one's in the
It's a
state.
state,
right?
yeah, it's in Louisville, at
Not
the
off-
Ball House, right? Ball House.
Not off the subject, but I noticed when I looked on, I got an email from them for the training we did. I know us as a new board member, that time should count this year, but it shows 0.
Oh,
Yes. it
email
is.
them.
Did yours show 0 too?
Yes, it did.
You need to email the KSBA and tell them that you're a new school board members. Because it should, my understanding is that it would account for.
It would
It
account
always
towards this
has.
year.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially like open meetings and.
It don't even, it really don't even, it shows, it's like it knew we were there, but like we did nothing.
And you signed in on
I
all
signed
your
in,
sheets.
plus they done the scan. Remember in the
Yeah.
one place they scanned us as we went out?
Huh.
Yeah, I would definitely call them or send them an email or something.
Yeah, because those hours run directly through their office based on what they get. And it could be that it happened so late, they took a break
Could be.
and they've not entered it yet, would be my guess. But we can, if you have trouble following up or can't get with them, just get with Ms. Bell.
Because we should have
She'll track
got,
them
I
down.
mean, I was only there the one day, but I should have got several hours that day.
Yep.
Right.
I was there too, and I still had 0, so.
Yeah.
Do we need to make that in form of a motion, or?
Yes, you need to make
Yes.
a motion for,
I make a motion for us to attend, along with the superintendent, the KSBA annual conference in Louisville
motion
on February 21st through 23rd.
motion by Mr. Kaiser,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Dorsey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Consider approval for CCPS Board of Education to attend the 2025 National School Board Association NSBA Conference in Atlanta, Georgia on April 4th through the 6th.
I would not attend that meeting, so,
That's, I mean, that one's optional too. That one, you don't get the hours, but you get a lot of knowledge from it. You can, that's the one that will show you where we are compared to.
well, I kind of like to get a year under my belt before that.
Right.
So I would not be attending, so I won't make a motion or anything for that.
So, do you know the time That's what we did that day,
Yeah.
yeah. The time of the day it starts on the 4th. Is it like the morning of the 4th starts? I also had that question about the 21st of February. That's a Friday. Does it start Friday morning? Is it like Friday afternoon?
Pretty sure it's the check-in and stuff is like that morning, the night before.
For
Sometimes
the-
there's early bird check-in. But yeah, they usually have like courses and stuff that start that morning, and then a big intro luncheons like that at around 11 or 12 that first day.
NSBA's webpage says they start on April the 4th at 9. But I think
9
that, is that a
o'clock.
Saturday?
No, it's a Friday.
And it ends the 6th at noon.
Is that the one in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Maybe you'd almost have to be there the day before for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to go down Thursday evening, you know. Depends on how you like driving. Whether you like driving at night or day or what.
And it's not mandatory, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'm not going to that one.
No, that was just on if you wanna be there, or if you, like I said, we've enjoyed it just because we've got to talk to other boards in multiple states. And they bring in a lot of vendors from, I mean, you can see all kinds of top of the line stuff that can be used in these schools that you will not see at KSBA.
And last year,
I just really appreciate the fact that, finding out more information about what the rest of the countries are doing. Communicating with the vendors and stuff there, seeing what everybody's using. I mean, with us, this year we found out that we were ahead of everybody else as far as like the digital landscape and lots of the systems that we use and stuff. So, I mean, it was definitely a good tool to be able to know or at least gauge where you're at.
What time did you say it started on the 4th? 9?
It says 9 on the website.
The registration's like 7:30 to 5, but I think the first one's at 9 on the website. I just pulled up. So I was doing Googling.
By voting, either way, it doesn't commit you to going, it just
To go.
commits the board to
Board.
authorize the trip and expense.
and last year, the lady she was one of the first African American children that went to school, like had to integrate into the school system there in New Orleans, spoke. And I didn't realize that she was from New Orleans. Like that was really those type. You're not going to get that type of big meeting, like listening to someone at the Louisville. But and so listening to that was very important. And I think going to New Orleans I made it into an educational thing. So our family we went someplace else, and then we got to New Orleans, and I went to the classes, and they did whatever it is that they did. So, because we had to live there before, but it is during the spring break. Is it during spring break this year?
It's at the end.
At the end of spring break.
That's how it was last year, too.
Oh, was it the end? I thought it was, it was the following week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When do we have to register for it?
Well, that's the reason I went ahead and put it on this agenda, because the sooner the better, because they'll start running out of hotels or.
And if we went ahead and registered, could we cancel if something come up?
You can,
for a
typically
person?
there's a date where there'll only be a partial reimbursement but yes, we will have to call them.
I think they already got.
Can I ask how expensive that is?
It ends Friday, January 10th.
It's
How much-
early bird special ends January 10th.
Yes.
American Barbecue Road.
It's only 3 days, is that correct? 4th, 5th, and 6th?
3 days.
So you'd have to fly down for,
I wouldn't fly, I'd drive to Georgia.
We'll drive.
I'll drive if I go. I'm not flying nowhere. I'm out on that.
It looks like for the, it's got a bunch of different pricing here, but
That's trying to
What's
find.
the baseline for the food?
I think it's $1,500 for the conference.
Per
That's
person?
for all 3 days.
Yes.
And another thing, last year I was able to interact with the National Education Association. I went to several focus group breakfast type things, and just hearing that national perspective, and then giving them feedback about Kentucky and about our experience in Clark County. So you can make it as, you know, you really do bring things back. I did bring several things back to Miss Nelson for the counseling or the MTSS department, ideas and that sort of thing. So it's a lot of walking.
Especially if you walk with Ben.
You gotta give me a husband.
Yeah, run. Any more questions?
And then what we do when we come back from these conferences, I've asked that we all just talk about our experience and what we've learned about. That way, there's transparency to the
Lovely.
community, so they know what we're doing. So we did that with the December. I believe we talked about the December conference at our monthly meeting last month.
So, nation's leading scholars on issues related to race and equality in education. Yeah, there's part of it, really good speakers.
That's what I thought the other day. Did you look at the speakers coming this time?
No.
They're really good.
I haven't had an opportunity to. I have to really do some reflection about if I'm able to go or
Judge
not.
St. Philip. What's this stuff?
Did you have any more questions, Ms. Thomas, about it?
No, I was just looking at the expense of it. It's the biggest thing.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to consider to approve to approve the Board of Education to attend the 2025 National School Board Association Conference in Atlanta, Georgia on April 4th to 6th, 2025.
Motion by Mr. Dorsey,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Hall. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Can I abstain from that vote?
But it
When
still
you-
counts as
it
a,
counts
that
as
you.
a yes.
Okay. Well, I'll just say nay, that way it still carries.
Okay. Motion was 4-1 with Ms. Thomas voting no. All right. Review of director snapshots.
So
Number 10.
I just want to bring this to your all's attention, and I've got, we'll have hard copies for each board member so that you guys get to kind of review it. I've also emailed you a link that takes you to the Google Drive. What we've tried to do is really try to become much more transparent and informative on what we do. I think, and having some conversations with some current board members and some onboarding board members, sometimes people don't know what they don't know. So what we've kind of put together, I've asked each department to put together a snapshot of their department. So for instance, food service, if you want to put up the food service one, just giving details that folks may not know. For instance, did you know that in 2023, 2024, we served
It's on my email.
529,338 breakfasts and 647,685 student lunches. I mean, we serve more food in this county than probably all restaurants combined. So just giving folks those kinds of details. Mr. Watkins talks about in his groundskeeping about how many acres of yard we mow, which is crazy. So I'm going to let you guys get acclimated to that, make sure you're good with us putting that out, and then what I would like to do is put together kind of a PR campaign to educate our community on the enormity of what it is to be a school system and your all's jobs of helping manage that. So just like I said, I always want to kind of keep you guys in the loop of what we might be putting out. Was that operations that was on? No, it's going to bother me. I can't remember how many acres we mowed.
300. He knew. 300.
300 acres? I mean, that's impressive. So I think it's important for us to have our community understand what our resources go to, because sometimes they don't. They just think that they see a building or we pay teachers. So we're really trying to improve that, and I'd kind of like your all's feedback too. And if there's things, especially with our board members, if you guys didn't know or you guys want to know more about, we can kind of include that in that snapshot, because it's really quite impressive the amount of service that we provide to the entirety of our community, frankly. So until you guys get to look at it, I'll kind of, if we want to put it back on, or if you guys want to meet with me individually, I'm always open to meeting. So any kind of questions about the vision, of what we're trying to do with that?
Love this. I think it's great.
Especially getting more information.
Public school maintains 1 million square feet of indoor building space.
That's a lot.
Like I said, I think information is important, and really I want to increase our transparency. And we got a lot to brag on. Our staff worked their tails off. So that's, again, just kind of a preview of what's to come. And like I said, we'll put together a media informational campaign. We're also going to be starting an online magazine that Ms. Crosby's working on with articles that kind of highlight some of this stuff. Again, just trying to ramp up people getting to know us and not trying to find us on what we were 20 years ago or even 5 to 10 years ago, frankly.
Good, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Item 11, consider approval and partially fund the RDC GRC band program trip to the 2025 KMEA conference to perform February 6, 2025 in Louisville, Kentucky, in the amount of $3,735.
So my understanding on this is that they need, me and Mr. Howard talked about it, essentially they need more funding in order to go due to daily bus routes or.
So they have actually been invited to perform. So this is actually a really big honor. They had to fill out an application, and not only the GRC, but also the RDC band got invited to perform at the KMA, is the Kentucky Music Educational Association Conference. So they're one of very few student groups that will be performing that together. Other students will be down there because they're involved with All-State Choir, All-State Band, All-State Orchestra, but our students have been asked to showcase their talents. Instead of putting the burden of that extra $3,700 on them to fundraise, talking to a couple board members, I felt like that was a very smart use of our board funds to make sure they're going out and showcasing without burdening our students and families that may not be able to.
I think it definitely is. Do I need to put that in the form of a motion? Or?
Yes, ma'am, we do a
Okay.
motion. And
I do make a motion that we give them the money for that.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Thomas, second by Mr. Kaiser.
I just want to make a statement that the band parents do bingo all the time. They are out there. It's all year long.
And it's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot
It
of
is.
work. And our, Mr. Cook and Mr. Lee D, and I know I'm leaving one out, Mr.
Schmeed.
Schmeed. I mean, they are just amazing.
There's another one too. There's another one now.
At the high school.
He helped between the high school and RDC.
And they performed this past year at the annual conference in Louisville. We got to hear them, and it was early on a Sunday morning, and there they were. So it was wonderful.
They hit track down. So this will make sure that they have the appropriate accommodations and they use
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Again, they are shining stars, guys, show.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. All right, discussion and review of the Clark County Preschool Project and review of the agreement with PS Consulting.
So we just kind of wanted to bring, in general, we kind of put this on there before we did the tours. I know that Mr. Kaiser, Mr. Dorsey have been going to meetings. I've asked Mr. Watkins, just in case you have any updated information, or generally, we're still on the timeline. We're working on floors. They were in there working today.
Things still on track at the last meeting for us to have our start date, to have students be able to start there in the middle of February, as we discussed at the last meeting.
And the second part of this is the board had hired a PS Consulting to kind of help monitor the project. According to the contract, since we're coming to the end of the contract, we're coming to the end of the completion. We're going to move in mid-February. We're already working on mid-January. In there, we have to give a 30-day, you guys have to give a 30-day notice to end the contract. So I want to bring that before you, since we're, again, coming to the completion of the project.
Okay, any questions?
I'd just like to say, I think Mr. Christie was useful and all through that time, but I think in his company, what's the name of their company?
Yes.
Yes, that's all.
Yeah. I think it makes sense to go ahead and do a 30-day notice since we're at the end of the contract. In my opinion.
You spoke with him too, didn't you? I mean,
I did.
He was agreeable to that.
I did. I called him personally to make sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's to the end, we're bringing
Right.
to 10 on most of it anyway at this point. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Great with it.
So I will need a motion on that.
I make a motion that we give a 30-day notice to PS Consulting. Does it have to be on the agenda to do that?
I know, that's what I was
It's
sitting
on
here.
there, it says review of agreement.
So
Okay.
so that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, Carl.
No, you're fine.
So you motion to?
I make a motion to send a 30-day notice
Okay.
to PS Consulting to end the contract.
Motion by Mr. Kaiser,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Consent agenda items, there is only one on there.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda item for our bowling team to attend.
I'll second that.
Motion by Ms. Hall.
Do we need to amend a motion to, he talked about wanting a
Yeah,
date
it's
if it gets canceled this weekend.
That may not hurt to move
tied,
the
any
trip.
tied dates and
Yeah.
tied or rescheduled dates.
Yeah.
You want to amend your motion?
I'll amend my motion to approve these dates and if the competition is rescheduled for those dates. Is that good?
It is. I'll
Motion by
second.
Ms. Hall,
That's it.
second by Mr. Kaiser. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ms. Hall,
Second.
second by Mr. Dorsey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. We are adjourned at 7:39 PM.